Hello guys, welcome to Shifting Gears, and right now I'm riding the BS6 BMW Motorrad G310 GS. ये बाइक पिछले साल लॉन्च हुई थी and thanks to COVID-19, the lockdown restrictions and all of that, I'm riding it now, finally. इस बाइक की कीमत शुरू होती है from rupees 2,90,000 ex showroom if you want to buy the polar white paint option. लेकिन अगर आप इसका रैली पेंट स्कीम खरीदते हो या अगर आप इसका 40 years of GS पेंट ऑप्शन खरीदते हो, the price tag is 2,96,000, 6,000 rupees more than the standard model. इस बाइक की कीमत काफ़ी कम कर दी गई है. The first gen G310 GS was priced at rupees 3,49,000 ex showroom, and this is a significant drop in price given the fact that you are now getting more features as well with this motorcycle. इस वीडियो में हम फोकस करने वाले हैं about the ride and handling of this bike. If you want to go commuting with this motorcycle, or if you want to go out on long tours, on long rides. I am out on a weekend ride with my friends and it has been a pleasant experience. इस बाइक के साथ आपको एक 313cc सिंगल सिलेंडर लिक्विड कूल्ड 4-stroke मोटर दिया गया है. इट प्रोड्यूसेस 34 हॉर्स पावर एंड 28 न्यूटन मीटर्स. BS6 अपडेट के बाद भी पावर या टॉर्क फिगर में कोई भी ड्रॉप नहीं हुआ है. दिस इंजन ऑफ द BMW G310 GS इज मैच्ड टू अ 6-speed gearbox. अभी आपको इस बाइक के साथ एक स्लिपर असिस्ट क्लच मिल जाता है. And this motorcycle now also gets ride by wire. One feature omission on this motorcycle is that it doesn't get switchable ABS anymore. आपको dual channel ABS मिल जाता है, but it is on all the time. You cannot turn it off on the rear wheel while off-roading. Apart from that, in terms of the kit, इस बाइक के साथ आपको upside down front suspension दिया गया है. You have a rear monoshock which is adjustable for preload. And at both ends of the suspension you get 180 mm of travel, which is fantastic. And the biggest highlight of this motorcycle is the suspension setup. So let me talk about that first. It is so comfortable. This bike is ideal for a city commuter. It is ideal for long touring, and you will just be a happy rider on the saddle. आपको इतनी कुशनी राइड क्वालिटी मिलती है, couple that with the nice seat which is very well scooped out, carved out. It keeps you in place, very well, and you can spend hours in this seat. And the overall suspension setup, the comfort is just superior compared to the KTM 390 Adventure and also compared to the Royal Enfield Himalayan. So this bike, if you are someone of a mature taste, if you like something that is more comfortable than a hooligan, then you will really appreciate it. मेरे पास एक KTM 390 Adventure है. That is my personal motorcycle, and compared to that, when I sit on this bike, oh my god, it is so comfortable. I absolutely love it. The suspension setup is just the best in this class. Also, while off-roading, the suspension soaks it up very well. तो आपको ज़्यादा झटके महसूस नहीं होते हैं. उसके वजह से आप वाइल ऑफ रोडिंग ऑन द बाइक ज़्यादा कंपोज्ड रहते हो, और उसके वजह से आप ऑब्स्टिकल टैकल करने पे फोकस कर सकते हो. सो you will like that. Now let's talk about the bike's handling on winding roads. So this BMW Motorrad G310 GS is quite a fun package. Check it out right now. I'm close to 100 kilometers per hour and the bike maintains its line very well. काफ़ी प्रिडिक्टेबल फैशन में ये मोटरसाइकिल हैंडल करती है, और आप इसे अपने वीकेंड ट्रिप्स पे एंजॉय भी कर सकते हो. ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है कि ये एक एडवेंचर टूरर मोटरसाइकिल है तो ये सिर्फ ऑफ रोडिंग के लिए स्पेशलाइज की गई है. यू कैन लिटरली हैव फन इवन इन कॉर्नर्स. चेक इट आउट. इट चेंजेस डायरेक्शंस क्वाइट वेल. It is not as sharp, say, as the KTM 390 Adventure or as the BMW G310R, but it is still, quite a fun little package. इस बाइक का कर्व वेट है 175 kgs. So to tip it into corners also, it is effortless, and the bike's balance weight bias is good enough. तो अगर ये आपकी पहली मोटरसाइकिल होने वाली है, if you are going to be a beginner on this motorcycle, you will have absolutely no problems. The downside though in the ride and handling package is the softer tune of suspension. तो होता ये है कि अगर मिड कॉर्नर कोई अंडुलेशन आ जाता है, because the suspension is so soft, the bike moves around a fair bit, and that might make you a little nervous at times. Of course, once you get used to the motorcycle, you will play around with it much better and you will understand the bike's movement much better. But still, if you want to ride hard in the corners, then the KTM 390 Adventure is a much sharper package. This is a little too soft. Also, when you brake really hard, आपको काफ़ी nose dive भी feel होती है. So check it out. When I'm gonna use my front brakes, it just nose dives a lot, and this might unsettle you. And if you have a pillion with you, the pillion rider will also feel quite uncomfortable if you have to really slam on the front brakes. तो इसके बारे में भी आपको ध्यान रखना है. So overall, the ride and handling package is a mixed bag. It is very, very, very comfortable, but it is not the most dynamically rich, although it is predictable. Check this out. You can maintain a nice line which you like, which you want the bike to maintain, and it is predictable. Just जब ही आपको undulations दिख जाते हैं, understand the bike's nature, understand the bike's abilities, then understand your ability to manage the motorcycle, and then you can just have a lot of fun. इसके बाद बात करते हैं इस मोटरसाइकिल के ब्रेकिंग सेटअप की. The brake bite, feel and feedback is more than sufficient. I have had no problems in the braking department. I could slow it down even in emergency maneuvers very well, and it is nice and sharp. Dual channel आपको ABS मिल जाता है. Of course, the downside is that you don't get switchable ABS for off-road, which is a big miss, and BMW Motorrad did offer that to you before, but they have taken it away with this BS6 update. So pretty weird why they've done that, but it is what it is, so you will have to live with it. And now let me talk about the tires. इस बाइक के साथ आपको Metzeler Torrance टायर्स दिए गए हैं. Fantastic grip on dry roads, fantastic grip on wet surfaces, so you will have no problems in terms of modulating your throttle, whacking that throttle and having fun whenever you get a chance. जब भी आप ऑफ रोडिंग भी कर लोगे माइल्ड ट्रेल्स पे, ये जो टायर्स हैं ये आपको काफ़ी अच्छी ग्रिप ऑफर करेंगे. जस्ट मेक श्योर दैट व्हेन यू आर राइडिंग इन टू मच ऑफ स्लश, यू हैव टू बी केयरफुल, बिकॉज तभी आपको टायर्स स्लिप होते हुए फील हो जाएंगे, बिकॉज यू डोंट रियली हैव दैट डीप टायर ग्रूव्स which will dig into the slush patch and then push you out as a tractor. So just understand that these tires are more road biased, although they are knobby. And now let me talk about the engine and gearbox of this motorcycle. सबसे पहले तो we all know that this engine is made by TVS here in India. This entire motorcycle is made by TVS, and this engine, by the way, is also seen in the TVS Apache RR310 and also in the BMW G 310R. There is enough punch. It produces 34 horsepower, 28 Newton meters, and there is a lot of grunt. So you will really like it. अभी आपको राइट बाय वायर थ्रॉटल मिलने की वजह से थ्रॉटल रिस्पॉन्स काफ़ी क्रिस्प फील होगी. And also now you get an anti-stall feature with this engine. What it does is, अगर आप हायर गियर पे लोअर स्पीड पे ये मोटरसाइकिल चलाते हो, इट विल मेंटेन एन RPM so that the engine doesn't stall. तो बाइक बंद नहीं पड़ेगी. So you can keep crawling in city traffic without having to make too many gear changes. So maybe in second and third gear you can just keep chugging along without having the need to necessarily shift down to the first gear. So that also is a good addition to the overall package to make living with this motorcycle that much easier. Also guys, another thing I wanted to highlight is the tractability of this motor. Check this out. I'm going to come to a complete standstill now, and check it out. I am still in second gear. So stand still, and now check this out. moving in second gear, starting in second gear, absolutely no problem, no jerks, no engine knocking. Of course आपको थोड़ा बहुत स्लिप करना पड़ता है क्लच को, but no problem at all. So अगर आप स्पीड ब्रेकर्स पे से बहुत ही ज़्यादा स्लोली क्रॉल करते हो, it is absolutely not necessary that the bike will feel uncomfortable if you don't shift to first. Also, thanks to that anti-stall feature, you will feel happy that the motor by itself is trying to maintain a reasonable rev RPM so that the bike doesn't stall. Now when you're riding this bike, let me tell you honestly, there are vibrations. There is no denying that fact. अगर आप ये बाइक खरीदने वाले हो, you should know that. Right now I am at 75 kilometers per hour in 6th gear, and I am feeling some buzz on the foot pegs and on the handlebar as well. I am wearing really thick Gore-Tex gloves right now. I am wearing thick Gore-Tex boots. I am seating on this very cushiony seat with my rain gear and my riding gear, and even on the seat I can feel some mild buzz at times. So there is vibration, and I will not sugarcoat it. If you are going to ride this bike in a sedate manner, अगर आप ज़्यादा हार्ड रेव नहीं करोगे तो आपको वाइब्रेशंस की ज़्यादा दिक्कत नहीं होगी. बट से फॉर एग्जाम्पल, if you really like to rev the nuts out, you will feel that over 6000 RPM the vibrations get a little uncomfortable. Not unsettling, but you will keep noticing it at all times. If you want to know about the ideal speed, ये मोटरसाइकिल आप 80 से 90 की स्पीड पे दिन भर आराम से चला पाओगे. It doesn't feel too stressed. But if you are gonna ride close to 100 or over 100 all time, you will feel that the engine is not really all that happy. Of course, even at that speed, you still have a lot of power left in reserve. By the way, BMW मोटरॉड का क्लेम है कि ये मोटरसाइकिल 143 किलोमीटर पर आवर की टॉप स्पीड अचीव कर पाएगी. It can go much higher than that on the speedometer cluster, so top speed is not a problem. And even in top gear, when you open the gas, there is good grunt from the engine. तो ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है कि ओवरटेकिंग मैन्यूवर्स के लिए आपको 6th गियर में से डाउनशिफ्ट करना ज़रूरी है. The next feature addition on this motorcycle is a slipper assist clutch with the BS6 update. It is a nice addition. It is a good feature to have. It makes your life that much easier, especially in city traffic when you really have to grab onto the clutch a lot. Clutch action जो है वो reasonable है. It is not the lightest. I think KTM makes a better slipper assist clutch unit. आपको दोनों ही फ्रंट ब्रेक और क्लच लीवर्स बाय द वे एडजस्टेबल मिल जाते हैं, so your reach is more convenient to you. But getting back to the gearbox now, the gearbox is very very clunky. The gear shifts are hard. कभी कभी आपको false gear shifting भी महसूस होगी, and the gearbox is not at all a pleasant experience. I was riding this bike inside city limits for a really long time, and today I am out on the highway, and every time I have to make gear changes, it just takes away the charm of this motorcycle because it is just hard. And if you're not gonna wear proper riding boots, if you're going to wear sneakers and ride this motorcycle, after a period of time, because of those hard gear shifts, you will feel that your toes are being beaten up. So that is also something that you have to keep in mind. But the slipper assist clutch functionality is great. जब भी आप डाउनशिफ्ट करते हो aggressively in corners, there is not too much of rear wheel hopping and locking, so that's good. And the gear ratios are really ideal, much better than the KTM 390 Adventure. तो ये मोटरसाइकिल आप सिटी में काफ़ी एंजॉय करोगे, and even on the highway it is more than sufficient. So where the KTM 390 Adventure just struggles at city speeds, at slow speeds, this bike is absolutely at home. So this is a much better all-rounder than the KTM 390 Adventure. But then the KTM is just a different motorcycle altogether. It has so much kit that there is absolutely no other motorcycle in the segment which can beat the value that KTM brings to this particular segment. अभी काफ़ी लोगों को जानना है क्या ये मोटरसाइकिल ऑफ रोडिंग कर पाएगी या नहीं. So for that we have uploaded a separate video. Do check it out. You will get to know everything about it. माइलेज की अगर बात करें तो स्पीडोमीटर क्लस्टर पे the info that I can see is 3 liters of fuel for 100 kilometers of a distance. So the mileage is say close to 33.33 kmpl and it is sufficient. लेकिन 11 लीटर का फ्यूल टैंक आपको मिलता है which is not all that great. So maybe 2 to 3 liters more or maybe 4 liters more would have been ideal for long distance touring. Also for touring इस बाइक के साथ आपको कोई विंड स्क्रीन नहीं मिलती है. I mean you get that small fly screen but it is no good in terms of protecting you from wind blast. Of course आप एक ऑप्शनल एक्सेसरी खरीद सकते हो but in its stock setup आपको ट्रिपल डिजिट स्पीड्स पे विंड ब्लास्ट ज़रूर फील होने वाला है. There is no denying that fact. Apart from that guys, this bike is good. It is a much better value package now after the price correction and after the feature addition. So if you ask me, should you buy this motorcycle? I would say yes, given that you accept its pros and cons. The pros are great looks, fantastic suspension and reasonable amount of kit for the money. The cons are the engine and gearbox are, you know, not ideal. The engine could have been more refined and the gearbox could have been much smoother, less clunkier. But nevertheless, for 2,90,000 rupees now, this is cheaper than the KTM 390 Adventure and definitely worth considering. So guys, let me know what is your opinion about this BMW G310 GS in 2021. Will you spend your money and bring this home? Check this out. Boys are having fun, standing up and riding over speed breakers. Of course, I can do that too. And this G310 GS for stand-up riding is also quite ideal. See you soon guys. See you in another video. Subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel if you haven't till now. And just have fun whenever you are out on a ride. But stay safe, ride safe, follow speed limits and keep an eye out in the open because the world is a crazy place. See you soon.